Hi guys. So my recap of the Blue Night Rubber Stamps Christmas in August is coming to an end. This is going to be my last video for this series. Don't worry, we have lots of new stuff coming out. We have some new releases coming out, so super excited for you guys to see those. Those will be in September. But I wanted to just recap what I did and the stamps that I used, and then we'll make a quick card again here today. Okay, so the stamps that I used was this Starry Night Christmas wreath, which comes with the wreath and the sentiment. Okay. This tree, which seems to be very popular with you guys. You guys have sent me so many messages that you really like this tree in the different ways you thought of using it. And this is the winter tree and fence. And it's one stamp. Okay. And then the sentiments that I used were the Come Let Us Adore Him stamp. I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. That would be great for the inside of the card. And on the outside, this beautiful script of May the birth of Christ bring you hope and peace. And then joy, peace, rejoice, and come let us adore him. So very cute fonts, but very, very nice sentiments. And they're not like super religious, but they are. So if you have cards that you make, I don't normally do a lot of religious cards, but these are great sentiments. And the joy, peace, and rejoice, I love the script on those. And they're 3 separate little stamps. So, you can use them in many different ways. So just to recap, I did the first card here with the winter tree and fence, and I did the double stick tape and glitter method over that. You can see it there. Lots of sparkle and glitter, and I should have stamped a sentiment on here, and I forgot. That happens. And then this one, which I finished off. You guys didn't get to see me finish it off because I didn't know how I wanted to finish it off. So I used some of that new LCI gold paper. It's very beautiful. I don't know if you guys can see, there it is, how beautiful that gold paper is. And then I used the wood grain paper and I colored it green to put in the background. I love how that looks. And then I tied it off with a piece of ribbon. And I just really like how much colors in that card. Very, very traditional Christmas colors in that one, right? And then this one is our evening sky, which I just did some evening pan pastel colors. And the more I look at this, the more I'm like, it's missing something. So I want to slide these out of the way. And I want to fix this one real quick because what's it missing? What do you guys think? I'm going to grab my supplies quick. If you said snow, you are correct. It is missing snow. Now, you can do snow a couple of ways. You can do white gel pen, which you can go in and add very easily. In fact, while I have the gel pen out, one of the ways that you can spruce up this winter tree is to follow some of the lines with the white gel pen. Now, this has been sealed with sealer, so it's not accepting the gel pen everywhere, but that's okay. Very easy and simple to do. Gives it that icicle tree look. If I had thought about it earlier, I would have double stamped it and put clear embossing powder over it, and that really would have given it the tree look. So real simple, adding a little touch of white gel pen. My favorite white gel pen is the Jelly Roll gel pen. I do store it. This is the 0.08. I do store it vertically, so that way the ink is always at the bottom, but this is a really, really good gel pen. Okay, so again, you can just go in and can add your snow. I also like to add a little sparkle, so I have also a Sakura sparkle pen, so you can add that. So this is a Sakura Jelly Roll sparkle glitter pen, so we can do it that way. Just again gives it a little more sparkle. But the way that I like to do it the best is the easiest for me is I take a pretty long bristled paintbrush. This will work. And I have some Copic Opaque white permanent gel. It's a opaque gel. And I have my little water bottle. Now it's kind of messy, so just make sure your stuff is all out of the way here. Can't find the brush that I normally use, so I'm just going to have to use this other brush. Oh, there it is. Right in front of my face. As my dad would say, if it had teeth, it would have bit you. Okay, so I'm just going to stir this up because it does kind of get liquidy on the top and then kind of thicker on the bottom. So we want to stir that up and make sure that we have nice smooth consistency. And you need very, very little of this. I mean, just a dab, and that's it. And again, you can just go in and make some bigger spots with the end of your paintbrush. You can also use puff heat embossing powder. That also works well. I'm just going to clean this off. And that is permanent, so you do want to clean that off pretty quickly. All right, so now we're going to just take our water and squirt, and I'm just using an acrylic block here. Ooh. And you really kind of want to water that down. And any white re-inker, so if you have a pigment re-inker, pigment pad, you can use that too. And I'm just going to flick it off the end of my, oop, too much. My block, okay. And then anywhere I think I got too much, just going to take a paper towel and just lift some of that up. There we go. Now I feel like it's finished. I'll clean up my mess here. Ooh. Very quiet house tonight. Everybody is on vacation. And I had to work, so no vacation for me. The kids will go back to school soon, so. There you can see, I think it looks finished now with the snow. What do you think? Okay, so I'm going to put that one aside. And the one I wanted to work on today, really, is I wanted to make another one with the wreath. And I'll show you what I've done. I had, just so you guys know, behind the scenes, not everything is all glamorous as I pretend it is. I try to be really real with you guys. So this is a card I had made, and I don't love it. I like the color scheme because it's heat embossed turquoise, and I added this pink, and then I put some yellow Nuvo drops in there, and I made it a shaker card, which is always fun. But I just feel like it's too plain. Doesn't mean I won't use it. I feel like it's too plain. If you think you'd like to see the video on this, because of course I filmed it, comment down below. But if you agree and you think it's just not one of my best, comment that down below. I'd be interested to see what you guys say. If there are enough votes for the video, I will post the video for you. But I thought about it and looked at it and was like, nah, I don't know. I think I can do better. So I went back and I watched some of my earlier videos from last year. And this one idea came up that I really liked, and I made several cards this way last year. So I think that's what we're going to try today. So, let's see here. I have a piece of this, again, using this beautiful LCI paper. Let me show you what I have. Never mind my phone dinging. I apologize for that. Okay, so I have this beautiful gray wood grain paper, which is called Gmund Wood stone cardstock. And this is really heavy. It's 111-pound cardstock, but it's gray. I love the way that it looks. And then I paired it with the gold because I cannot get enough of the gold, which is super. Is this one super gold? I think this one is super gold. Yes, I think it's the super gold, which I just love all the sparkle in that. But I think that the gold and the wood gives it some texture. It's muted with the gray, and then the gold just really pops. And I really wanted to use this. It's called Stardream Lagoon Metallic Cardstock. So it's pearlescent. It's this beautiful teal color. I really wanted to use that. So I thought, okay, if I make a card with these three, how can we make it pop? So non-traditional Christmas colors doesn't mean it can't be a beautiful Christmas card. Not everybody uses traditional Christmas colors, right? So I do want to figure out placement of this, which is right there. Perfect. And then I want to stamp my stamp in the middle here. And I'm going to heat emboss. And so I'm going to use my anti-static tool, EK Success tool. You can use your Stamping Buddy, bags, cornstarch, whatever you have there. Using the ever so popular Versamark ink. Oops, upside down. I'm going to ink that up really nicely. Okay, I think that's pretty good. That's one thing I really enjoy about red rubber stamps is they always make a really nice impression. It's always very crisp, very nice looking. Very few misses when you use a red rubber stamp. Okay. And then I found this beautiful gold embossing powder I had in my stash, which I believe matches this gold metallics paper so beautifully. This one's called Pearl Gold Sparkle Embossing Powder from Wow. And I thought, I think this is going to match that paper, and it's really going to pop. So let's give it a go. And this has glitter and pearl in it, so I think it's going to look really pretty against the teal. Oh, I love it already. So pretty. Like I said, I did not like the color combination I had before with the pink and the teal. The lagoon, I just felt like it was a little plain. It just needed something. And I just kept getting drawn to that gold paper. And again, the paper's from LCI Paper. I will link them for you as well. The stamp is, again, provided by Blue Knight Rubber Stamps. All right, so now we're going to heat this up. Now I'm going to let my gun heat up a little bit just because it's a metallic and it takes a little longer when you have those sparkles in there. So we're going to just let that heat up a second. Just love it when an idea comes together. So, the gold, we're going to give that a second to cool down. Look at how perfectly that matches. Although the teal embossing powder I used matched as well. Okay, so now we have this beautiful gold wreath. I really don't want to mess with it. I love how gold and sparkly and pearly it is, but I want it to pop, so I want to spotlight it. So I saw this on a Yanis Makula video. She does a lot of inking videos and really makes her designs pop. So I found this Stampin' Up! Ink called Bermuda Bay, which is going to be a little slightly darker than our cardstock. And then I have my distressed ink tool, and I'm using regular dye ink. You can use whatever ink you have. But all I'm going to do is just get into that ink, and I'm going to blend. So I'm going to start from the outside corner, and I'm going to blend in. So now what I'm doing is just kind of adding that ink to the outside edge of the cardstock. I'm not going to lose any of that pearlescent metallic shine on the cardstock, and it's really going to help the gold pop. It's really going to make that gold stand out because we're highlighting what's stamped in the center by leaving that a lighter color. Always start off of the edge of your paper and in short circular motions go in. If you feel like it needs to be darker, you can always add more ink. And the reason I did my stamping first, because if you use your ink first and then stamp and heat emboss, you have a chance of that ink sticking to the embossing powder sticking to your ink on the outside. And then you have embossing powder everywhere. So I did my stamping first and being very careful to just ink the outside of the paper here. And now look how much that wreath pops out. How pretty that is. And that paper still maintains its pearlescent metallic shine. So this is really simple, but I think I really like this one better than the other one I did. I'm going to add some of that ink here. Let's make some of this wood grain pop. I love putting ink on textured paper. It just really changes the look of that paper. And it's not that I didn't like the gray, but I really like putting this teal on there now. It really ties it all together. And I think it draws your eye to the fact that this is a textured cardstock now. Okay, so let's put all this together. Even thinking about running this gold through the embossing folder and giving it more design, but I think that the wood grain would lose its you'd lose some of that wood grain look by adding too much texture. So I don't want to add too much texture. If I was using a plain paper, then I probably would add some texture to this gold paper. Be nice if my glue cooperated. Oops, too much glue. Oh, I thought it spilled on the other side. Nope. Okay. We're good. We're good. The wood grain cardstock is cut to A2 card size, so 5.5 by 4 1/4. The gold is cut down slightly smaller. It is cut down to 5 1/4 by 4. I normally always use the same size mats. I don't know why I can't stick this down straight today. Whoa. Okay, and then our main card panel piece is cut down to 5 by 3 3/4. Oh, I'm really loving this color combo. This is so pretty. Okay, now I really am disappointed in myself for making that other one. But hey, sometimes You just got to try stuff out and see what comes out. And like I said, when you get into a slump, I get into slumps all the time. I watch YouTube videos, and Giannis Mikula had this method last year, and I really liked it. So I brought it back, and now we have this teal wood grain, which I am loving. This gold, pretty shimmery cardstock, and then we have the teal card base, and then the gold heating boss. And now all I have to do is just basically add my sentiment. And I think I want to add one of those smaller sentiments. Here we go. This, oh yeah, this one will fit. This one says, "Come, let us adore him," and we can stamp that right in the middle. Now let's line it up. So I'm going to get my old-fashioned stamp-a-majig out here. And I'm going to use the same teal ink. So, smooth side of my stamp-a-majig. It fits perfectly. Okay, so I want to line this up, make sure it's centered, make sure it's straight. It does not look straight. Okay. I'll line up my card on the grid lines here first. Okay. Now we can make sure this is straight. Okay, that looks pretty straight to me. Let's hope I don't mess it up. That's pretty cool. Simple but elegant. I don't really need to add anything else to this because you have the texture in the wood grain, you have that gold cardstock, you have that beautiful gold wreath, and you have a very easy, simple sentiment. Okay, so tell me what you guys think of the card. Let me know if you want to see the video for the one that I messed up. Well, I believe I messed it up. I just, again, not in love with it. Again, just to give you guys a recap of the other cards and the stamp sets I used, just in case you missed the beginning. The stamp sets that I used on the earlier cards were the Winter Tree and Fence stamp set. This one was called the Starry Christmas Wreath, and the sentiments were called Come Let Us Adore Him. They are all provided by Blue Knight Rubber Stamps. And the paper was from LCI Paper. I believe they're having a sale. Go check them out at lcipaper.com. Again, I will link them for you guys. And the other cards that I made were this shimmery, sparkly glitter one. And again, I just missed the sentiment on that one. And then we had this other one with the wreath, which has a lot of traditional colors with the red, the green, the gold. Very, very nice with the colors there. Then we have our snowy sky, which looks much better now that it actually has snow on it. Tell me what you think. And then I'm taking this guy out of the mix, just not loving it, and replacing it with this one. All right. So let me know if you want to see my blooper video. Well, it's not a blooper video. It's a whole video on my blooper card. And tell me which one you like better. Like the one with the pink ribbon or the one with the gold heat embossing. As always, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate your comments. And keep on stamping. Bye-bye.